Hello, everybody. It's Phoenix Warrior. I have a fun topic that, even though it's a fun topic, and even though I'll give a disclaimer, it involves swearing, and some people are uncomfortable with the word, but some of us, it's just a word. I was raised by my grandfather, and my grandfather used all types of profanity. What I actually wanted to talk about, there'll be a couple of videos on this topic, is forgiveness, because a lot of us, one of my life lessons is forgiveness, and I'll go into other topics and reasons of why, but a lot of my experiences on my journey has to deal with forgiveness, but a fun kind of way of letting go, because I find most of us need some type of process, some type of something to do with the human mind and all of that kind of stuff in being able to let go and being able to get over stuff. And I seen this this idea, and you can either make your own, or if you don't want to make your own, or you don't feel that you're very creative or crafty, which once you see what I've made, it's really, really simple to do. At the Spirit Within and Airdrie, we actually sell them in a little kit, because I put together a little history of it, a little bit of how to do it, give you different ideas how to do it. And what it is your own bucket, because everybody should have a bucket, I firmly believe. And the history, just to give you a little snapshot of it, was a gentleman that in his business or whatever, people come in and they're griping and they're pissing, moaning, whining, complaining. And you'll notice that if you don't live 100% ownership in your life or responsibility in your life, what happens is the weather's bad. You blame, oh, I couldn't go there because the weather was bad. I was late for work because the roads were bad, or there was an accident or whatever. And there's a lot of things that, yes, on one hand, it's out of your control, but on the other hand, you can either react to it or respond to it. So one of the things is what he did was he got just this great big bucket, and he threw a bunch of treats and candies and stuff in it. And the theory behind it was that if they had a complaint or an upset, or they're kind of in a pissy mood because he didn't want it to affect his business, it was like, grab a sucker or a candy or a chocolate bar and eat it and just suck it up. So reach into, the fuck it bucket and forget what you're complaining about and just let it go, kind of thing. And then after that, people started to make their own buckets, or creatively make them. You can make them any size. And then what I say is, let's say you had an argument with somebody. And this kind of goes into the Hawaiian prayer that I do, the Ho'oponopono, and that's kind of another thing that I do, especially around moons, new moons, and full moons. It's another releasing thing. Works really great when you're upset with somebody, or you have a grievance, or you're grieving, or any of those kind of things. But you just take a piece of paper, just any piece of paper, let's just say. I've been writing notes. So let's just say you grab a piece of paper, you grab a favorite pen. I love this pen. It was a gift. This person must really know me, because I love rose gold and I love bling. And when I write, that's the other thing. When I write with an intention and a purpose. There's certain color of inks that I like to write with. So for forgiveness letters, I believe in, and for me, I like to write on purple paper. And this purple paper, you can only get it at Walmart or Staples, and it comes in a pack. And purple for me is healing. So when I'm writing on purple paper and stuff like that, it's healing. It's also intuitive and channeling and psychic and all that kind of stuff. That's just a little tidbit thing. But I get a piece of paper, You write the person's name on it, right? And let's say that person upset you. Then you take it and you crumple it up. When you crumple it up, you toss it in your bucket. Toss it in there. Person upsets you, write it on a piece of paper, toss it in there. Now, after you've filled up your bucket and you have a few things in there, what I like to do is on a new moon or a full moon, you take them out, and I have a little barbecue or a fire pit. Kids, do it safely. This is my disclaimer. Don't go putting it on your deck and causing a fire and getting the firemen to come, or your neighbors to complain because you lit up the house, or parents or whoever else you may live with or whatever. But anyways, you grab all the pieces of paper and you burn them, and you set the intention on a new moon or a full moon. This is what you're releasing. And it is a process of, you'll find, like, psychologically, when you write things down on a piece of paper, as you're doing it, you're like, I'm just going to let this go. Let's say you have a problem. You can't find a solution. You write down on the piece of paper and say, I need a solution for this. Crumple it up, put it in your little bucket. You've kind of sent it out there, and let it go. And then on the new moon or the full moon, you burn it. And then you set your new intentions, your new goals that you want. And you can teach everybody in the household to have a bucket. Instead of them coming to you and bitching and complaining and that, say, oh, put it in the bucket. And yeah, so if you can make your own, you can get any type of bucket. And honestly, we just pick these up. You can get them at the dollar store, garden places, all sorts of. I would rather get it at the dollar store. It's only a few bucks. They have all different sizes. They have wonderful stuff there. And I was very fortunate because I convinced a beautiful lady that I work with, Julie. She has beautiful handwriting and printing, so I get her to write on all my buckets. She's wonderful. She works at the Spirit Within, and she has a lot of talents and gifts too. You should check her out too. But we have a whole whack of these at the shop if you want them, or make it a fun project. Gather up your family and do that. Especially now that we're all in isolation, that would be a good thing to do. And every time some of those people at the grocery store or whatever that don't follow the rules, write it in here and put it in your bucket and have fun with it. And this is just a quick little video on that, and one way to be able to release anything that's upsetting you or to let go of. And check out the other videos that I have on letters and the Ho'oponopono and the moon and the full moon, because we always have 2 of those always coming up every month, and that's always fun to do. So have a great evening.